there we go. If we just done our proper checks here, we would have been proper. But howdy doodly trainers, and welcome in to the second set of Articuno League week number 1. We are so excited to be able to cast the Articuno League once more for another game tonight. Tonight we will have the Beam team versus LB Gaming. So our teams are currently coming in here and getting into the lobby, but let me tell you, we are having some amazing games tonight. Beam team, we have seen them before. We did some they are a team built out of players from the Underdunk's First Steps program. So that is an amazing program to be able to see. That is something that's able to watch happen. These are players that know their stuff. And they're coming out, they banded together, and they're putting together exactly what it is they've learned coming forward. So I'm excited to see everything that they're able to put together and come forward with. And the other team here, we have LB Gaming. You might recognize them from previous seasons of Articuno League. They have been around quite a while. I wouldn't say they're ancient, but they do know their stuff. They are very familiar with this type of format. They're familiar with the pressures of a league environment and a best of 5 series, because that is what we're bringing you tonight. We have a best of 5 series here in the Thea Sky Ruins with the mighty Groudon. Going to be able to come in and wreak some havoc with some tectonic shifts and everything else in between. So we are excited for sure to be able to get that going and get that set up. Oh, but Groudon is one of those Pokemon that is just overwhelmingly, like, I don't know how to say it. What's the word? I would say kind of like balanced. And it feels different because we don't know how to interact with it. Like, let's take a look. Let's look at Zapdos. Zapdos was a Pokemon where whoever the team that took the objective just broke the goal pads, healing, like it just hit them with a zap, 30 seconds of instant scoring during double points. That was busted. But only for 30 seconds. After that, then it was like, whoa, but teams were still able to capitalize on Zapdos. There was a lot of percentage win rates from these teams that were able to just come in and do this down. Then we look at Rayquaza. Rayquaza was a Pokemon that was absolutely busted with the shields. Comes in with shields, comes in with an attack buff as well, and it gives you unstoppable scoring. So it's not instant scoring, but it's unstoppable. You have to break the shield before you can stop the scoring. So basically, if you take the Rayquaza, you're going to be winning the game just like with Zapdos. But with Groudon, you get an attack buff. You get a score speed increase, but there is no unstoppable scoring. There's no instant scoring. You still have to get onto those pads and you have to get into it. But our teams are ready to go with their first game tonight. So here we are. We didn't get the bug. All right. So, error 2102. Eat it, because we're in a game, we're in a match, and we're getting it done. We have the Beam team on your purple side here. We have your LB Gaming on your orange side here. And as you can see from these bands, they are different than what we typically get. They are blind pick bands. So that means that you won't know what the opponent is picking. And it's a vote-based system, but you get 3 of them. And we're going to have Blissey, Hoopa, Suicune out from Beam Team. And we're going to have Suicune, Blissey, Buzzwole out for LB Gaming. So we're only going to have 4 bands, just like a standard game of Unite, guys. Just like a standard game of Unite. We're getting rid of Blissey, we're getting rid of Suicune, getting rid of Hoopa, getting rid of Buzzwole. All right, but these are the scenarios that you can run into with this kind of drafting, with this kind of banning. But the draft is still the same. So Beam Team going to lock in that Leafeon here, and with the Blissey band out, it's going to be hard to find a supporter to kind of like go with it if it goes too deep, kind of protect it there. But Clefairy here is going to be hovering over that Eldegoss. That's a very powerful Pokemon. And Jakuri gonna lock in that Aegislash. All right. So Aegislash also very powerful Pokemon. Nice wide guard to be able to put up some stuns there. Gonna be able to get some stacks up so it can go either. So we can just go off bananas, all crazy like, in either shield mode or in sword mode after using your Sacred Sword or Shadow Claw. But we do have Trevenant Clefable locked in for LB Gaming. This is a powerful healing combo there. We have Trevenant able to heal off that Hornleech, which did recently get buffed up in the latest patch. We have that Curse stun off for Trevenant too, so that healing from Moonlight off Clefable going to help mitigate Trevenant's curse damage to itself. That's assuming it's taking curse and not just going Woodhammer. Sometimes you just need full CC. You just need to get all the stuns out there. But Clefable also going to pair really, really well in with the Lucario and the Charizard. You're going to be able to keep them healthy, keep them buffed. But we do see Lucario and we're scared. So what do? We pick our peel options. We pick Snorlax. We pick Pikachu. We got some nice utility there. We're going to be able to lock down that Lucario, lock down Charizard, preferably before it unites. Because let me tell you, that Charizard Unite is something to be feared. And I think LB was really smart with this last pick here on the Raichu. One of the things a lot of teams don't seem to look into is what kind of attackers do you need to be taking into certain things. Pikachu is a fantastic attacker, but what's the one thing it lacks? Range. Dedicated burst range damage. Like, sure, it can go Mage with like Thunderbolt, but it doesn't seem to have the same impact as like Raichu would with Electro Ball or Thunderbolt there, with the Sidekick being able to come off or the stored power. So overall, there's a lot to take into, and I think that Raichu is a smart pick because when you look at LB Gaming, they're going to be looking at trying to outrange that Pikachu, trying to say, hey, listen, we got that, we can outrange you. That means that Raichu's going to be able to sit safely behind the wall that LB is going to be able to put up and just start poking at the Snorlax or the Aegislash. Will make it very difficult for that Leafeon to get on them. But we are now into game number 1 of Articuno League Week 1 with Beam Team, your purple team, and LB Gaming, your orange team. So let's see just how effective these teams are going to be. We are sending Raichu into the bottom path. That does make sense. And that means we are going to have Charizard into the center. You're going to be able to grab that level 5 sooner. But we have an invade coming here. BT Brockstar going to be coming in and grabbing the blue buff, that Excelgor, denying Charizard crucial experience to be able to get to its level 5 beforehand. Oh, but they're being hyper aggressive. They miss out on the KO, but they drive them out of the lane. They're like, listen, Snorlax says this is his jungle now. This is his pathway. It's no longer Lazy's. So Lazy got to find a way to come back into this game to make sure he still gets his 5. Brock is going to be hanging out here a little longer, but one of the things you need to keep in mind as well is when you do an invade like this, your lane does suffer. Look at that. We might not have a level 5 Charmeleon, but we do have a level 5 Raichu, and that's going to be massive here. But in the top lane here, level 5 Leafeon going to be available. Going to come in. Ooh, that big bird coming in. Rockstar is still being a harasser. Oh my gosh, there we go. Someone getting a restraining order for that Charizard because he takes the KO and sends him back to Nurse Joy. And he may have stopped that Charmander from getting to level 5 and became level 5 himself. The power of XP share already at work. Putting Snorlax ahead of the jungler for LB Gaming. We do have Raichu sitting here in the home pad a little bit there, just kind of like floating around saying, hey, what's up? Can't do much. But we are going to have a top lane here. We do have Obelisk with Sinnoh here. Going to be able to come out. Oh no, we do have a crash. That Raichu is down. Okay, so while we do this, let me take a look at what the crash procedures are. All right, give me a moment here. say play it out for now. And all right, we are going to come back. So our teams are going to play it out until we get an admin coming in and going to be able to refresh and spawn this. The crash did happen within the 8-minute mark. Normally crashes are within 60 seconds of the game, or only focus on the draft or whatnot. So we're going to get confirmation on what to do, go from there. But our teams are going to play it out like they are here. All right. So that is going to go wild as it is. But that Regieleki did walk into the top tier 2. H/, the Curry not able to stop it. Sinnoh and Obelisk able to dump their points. Sinnoh not making it out. Obelisk doing everything they can. They do have Unite moves, so if they have to burn it to stay up and deny experience going to the side of Beam Team, that might be what they had to do. But they get out, and they are good to go. All right, so we are going to have the Trevenant come in, grab that Salic Berry. We are grouping up, so it looks like we have our player Slasher is back. They are back with this Raichu here. Hopefully this is right. Oh, they were able to load back in. Heck yeah. You hate to see a crash, but you love to see a comeback as they're coming back into this now. This is absolutely epic. But oh, huge points coming in now for the side of LB Gaming. Oh, but Brockstar also crashed, isn't able to load back, but I believe we are too deep into this match to be able to do anything about that. Brockstar is that Snorlax. That does explain why that Snorlax is no longer with the team right now. Bots like to just opt for scores no matter what the points are. So this is going to be a rough position to be in for sure. But we are going to have that Charizard come in. Huge Unite move coming out. Eldegoss going to come down here. Hit it up. Going on to LB Cosmic. Going to go down as we take it down with the Trevenant Aegis / combo there. Helping each other, even though on opposite teams. What am I talking about? But here. But we do have... Oh, Polaris is in a sticky situation. They're stuck between a Registeel and an LB Gaming. And that is not fun. They need to get... Yeah, there we go. Right to the Eldegoss as it unites to come in and get them. Now, LB Gaming is crashing on top of this Registeel. They're going to be coming in. Huge Electro Ball coming in. I don't... Oh, from the Pikachu, right. I was like, wait, where did that come from? I'm getting so lost, so confused. But we're hitting that Clefable while the Eldegoss is still up, or while the Trevenant is still up. All right, so we do have the H/ going to be coming back here. We have another Regieleki going back towards the side. Okay, so Brock has been out since 8:27. All right. All right, so let us see how this is going to go. Let's get on the action here. Let's make sure you guys can see all this action while we sort this out on the side of moderation. We are just plagued with bugs tonight. I can't believe how much this Unite has just been so buggy lately. It's kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. Well, let's follow what Lazy is up to here, going through the jungle here while we sort this out. We do appreciate the patience from our viewers and our players being able to come in. We're at 111 to 263. 45 seconds out from the Groudon. Alright, let me see if I can't find what the crash procedures were. So, but we have so much going on here. We are 10 seconds out from Groudon now as we come in. We are still looking for crash procedures. Might need to find that in the captain's chat. Oh, no, never mind. Resets can only be used before first minute of game in-game time. Alright, so we did find it. Unfortunately, we will not be able to reset off of this. So, since we found that, we are going to link this to them. Alright, so Groudon is up 363 to 111 for the side of LB Gaming. Groudon is still in play. We have now lost control. Our controller has said, you know what, you put me down, we're just going to hop from Pokemon to Pokemon. So, now, what needs to happen is they need to play it out. So, we are going to have to see Beam Team play it out. So they're going to collapse. They're collapsing on the Groudon here. They're going for it. They got to start this rip. They only have 40 seconds left. They got to get the Groudon. They got to find opportunities to score. This is what needs to happen for the Beam Team to come back into this game. Leafeon going to take down the Raichu, but Leafeon Snorlax is going to get taken down next. Now Charizard's going to turn, but the Pikachu's helping save the Eldegoss. Eldegoss is going to go down. Pikachu are the only ones up. Pikachu, it's now down with Lucario, Trevenant, and Clefable still up. But this means that LB Gaming is going to take game number 1 in this best of 5 set. All right, let me get into our players and so it is unfortunate there was a crash. It is unfortunate that this happened, but we do have procedures. One of the crash procedures is if a player crashes out before the first minute of the game, they can opt for a reset. If they crash during draft or the loading screen, we can opt for a reset. Unfortunately, since the crash occurred at around 8:27 for the side of what do you call them there? Beam Team, and another crash occurred at around the 8-minute mark for the side of LB Gaming. That was after the minute mark, the 1-minute mark, which allowed for the reset. So unfortunately, that is going to be. Oh, okay. Apparently, the game is way louder than me. What is this? That's crazy. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Let's crank our volume up. Let's make sure we are way up. There we go. And let's turn game volume down. All right, we turned that down. We got that back up. We are ready to go, and we're ready to do stuff. But let's take a look at that match there. LB Gaming did a really good job being able to zone out Beam Team from the Groudon pit. They realized we didn't need Groudon. Even if we turned to flip it, we didn't have the resources to do it. So they did a really good job being able to do that. We do have 55k coming out onto that Raichu, 67k onto that Lucario, 63 on the Charizard, 71 tank from from that Trevenant and 96 from the Clefable. So all of it, like LB Gaming did really, really good, but 49k heals from the Eldegoss there on Clefairy. That's amazing. Polaris pulling in 64, Jakuri pulling in 62, Coach Chris pulling in 65, and Bot Snorlax pulling in 53k tanked. So this is all around really good showing from both teams. Now, we did have a bit of a plateau score-wise from the side of Beam Team. But we did, like, when you look at the side of LB Gaming, they were putting caps in every so often. Like, that's just not a plateau. And that's what you want to be doing in this map. Because it's not an instant win objective. Because Groudon is not an instant win objective, you need to be looking... You need to be looking at how you can put your points ahead. How many points ahead can you get? Like, maybe do you have to force them to be? Do you have to maybe put them? You have to put your team maybe 200 points ahead, 150 points ahead. Make it 250 caps in order for them to get it. But when you think that logic in place, you have to take into account the new bottom lane. On the side for, you have to take into that account that new bottom lane tier 2 point total, because it's now no longer 100, it's 120. That means a full 100 points can go in and another full hundo burger for another 80 points on top of that. So, oh my gosh, guys, we're going to take a quick few minute break on the side of our players. We are still, me, Jonathan Hyde, is still going to be around. What our players need to take a little quick check. They need to do a little tech check. Need to get stuff in order. So we are going to sit here and we're gonna have a little chat. We're gonna talk because it feels like it's been a while. But Sinnoh, Obelisk, thank you for the follows, guys. Much, much appreciated. Ready Bobetti followed me 2 hours ago. Really appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. Luna Ravery, I think I'm saying that right. Followed 11 hours ago. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. You happened offline, but that's okay. We're still going to try to make our do whatever we can to make that out. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a 3-minute delay on here, so I'm not going to be as attentive to the chat. But thank you very much for pointing that out, Fairy. I really, really appreciate that, because we do have a delay on this channel, so that way there we can stop any potential stream sniping. Not that our teams would do that. Articuno League has been known for fair sportsmanship. We have a lot of really good teams, really honorable players coming in here, and that is amazing to be able to see, especially when we have to come into formats like this. Sure, you have to have everything recorded, and it always helps, but we're always, honestly, the level of sportsmanship within the Unite Communities events from the majority of the player base. And when I say majority, I don't mean like 51% or 55%. I'm talking like 75, 80, 90% of the player base that we encounter, or that at least I've encountered and what I've seen, has been phenomenal. It's been amazing. Now, I can't speak for every event. I've not casted every event, but it's been absolutely phenomenal coming through and being able to watch all of this stuff. So, and as I'm glad you guys are all here watching this journey too, because we're going to try to get as many Articuno League games casted, just like we're doing Zygarde League. We're going to try to get as many Zygarde League games casted as well. So we're going to be able to get as much possible covered as much as we can, because that is what we're all about. But with new maps comes new possibilities. And let me tell you, we missed most of that match, so we didn't even get to see who took Drago. So going into game number 2, we're going to be focused on that Drago. We want to be focused on Regidrago. We want to take a look and see at what Drago is going to be like, so that way there we can take a look and see what the impact it's going to have coming into our game. So we are on the correct screen there. Yep, now we are on the correct there. All right, and again, we're making sure that we're looking at the correct channels for the correct pings. But yeah, no, Regidrago, new objective coming into this map. Very, very important. AoE experience. So not only do we have team experience from Regirock Ice and Steel, not only do we have an objective that disables your goal pad, makes it instant scoring with Regieleki, but now we have another AoE experience. So any allies within set range within Drago get experience, but we also have an increased in score speed. Again, not an attack speed, so it's like a mini Groudon at 8 minutes, guaranteed. And I believe 2 minutes later, it is randomly spawned from the time it's taken, randomly spawns between itself and the Swablu's Altarias. You always get a timer, so you always know if it's coming in or not. But it's an absolutely great objective to be able to come in and just say, okay, this is something we need to make a push for. This is something we need to take and to put team in an early lead. Or if you have that increased score speed on a stacking Pokemon like Blaziken, like Aegislash, or Absol, Pokemon that stack attack weights, or Aeos cookies, or special attack specs, you want that on that Pokemon as early as possible so that they can get those cheeky 1 to 5 point scores in as soon as possible. And if they're carrying a little too much, like it's around 10 or 15, those scores are going to go in. Lickety split, going to be able to lock that down and get their stacks in so that they can empty their pockets and get into more. So no matter how you're going to utilize that Regidrago buff, it's going to be beneficial as long as you figure out a strategy on how to utilize it. So I think that's going to be a Pokemon that you really need to take a look at going in. But Jakuri, thank you for the follow, my man. Much appreciated. Again, we appreciate every follow coming in here because, again, we're not covering just one event. We're covering multiple events. So every time we go live, you might see something you like. Maybe you get exposed to a different league or to a different tournament or whatnot. That is so cool. So stay tuned for more as we come in and get this stuff done. Yeah, all right then. So, all right, so we have Obelisk coming into the lobby with R Slasher. Yep, thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate the ready check. So, as soon as Beam Team is ready, perfect, they are ready. So, let's get ourselves on to game number 2. Just gonna quickly, all right, they said ready. They didn't ask for a side check. So, we're gonna go into game number 2. So, here we go as we now enter the draft. Oh, and look at that. Oh, look, we didn't even update the thing. We had all of this time to update score, and you think, you know, we'd be a smart professional streamer and actually update the score. But, so last time we had double bans out on the hoop, on the Blissey and the Suicune. I think our teams are now going to be able to pivot away from that. When you're making your bans in the blind pick, you're kind of like making a risk with the other team. So you're like, who is going to... Score speed only applies to the person who took it. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. You have to look at who's going to get that additional score speed. Absolutely. But as we're now talking about the draft here, we got Blissey Suicune. The teams did not want to leave it up to the other team to ban it out. They were just like, get it gone, get it out, get it good. Shoot. All right, so we have Zeraora coming in from Polaris as a first pick. That's an interesting first pick. So we're going to lock in that Trevenant and Clefable combo. It's what worked in game number 1 for LB. They're going to bring it back. Kazuki Sinnoh going to come in and they're going to dominate on that. Clefairy going to be locking in the Eldegoss. Jakuri going to be stealing the Lucario. Going to be taking that Lucario away from LB. They're like, listen, man. This thing was a little bit too demonic. It was a little bit too oppressive. So we are going to ensure that we take it. So now Polaris is going to come in on the Zeraora. But again, that's an interesting first pick. Like, Zeraora was up. No bans, no anything. So the other team wasn't going to take it. This is a when you're in a first pick slot, you're in a priority spot pick Pokemon. Zeraora is a very damage heavy Pokemon. And that's kind of easy to counter. So when you first pick it, you now give LB Gaming 5 opportunities to counter the Zeraora. To not just counter it, but to talk about a counter. To talk and discuss, is Zeraora going to be an issue? And what do we need to do? And maybe this means that they don't necessarily counter it, but they take certain Pokemon off the table that they were going to be looking at. So when you look at your damage, when you look at the lock-in Zero Aura and your damage Pokemon like that, you don't want to do that. You want to lock in, most teams typically do tanks and supporters, mostly because those are very viable. Snorlax was one of the last picked Pokemon here, and I'm shocked by that because that is such a strong Pokemon. But at the same time, too, if you're looking to take, like, Eldegoss, I will agree, very, very good pick. Very strong pick coming in here. Especially going into Charizard and Scizor. No, that's going to be a Scyther. That's a full heal. That's probably a Scyther. And into Raichu here. That's a lot of healing to help negate the Raichu damage. That's a lot of basic attack speed to be able to help mitigate any sort of stacks that the Scyther or the Charizard is going to be looking for. We got Lucario. It's a nice partner for Lucario to be able to pair with its steadfast ability, which grants it a little shield every now and then. We're going to lock in that same Snorlax Pikachu combo in the bottom lane here. It worked very well. We got that invade off initially. We managed to get that KO super early on that Charizard and hit bottom lane at level 5. So overall, we saw amazing things from Brockstar and that Snorlax, and we are excited to see what he can do now that he's back in the saddle piloting it, instead of being like, all right, I did my job, now the AI takes over. Whether it was his choice or not, the AI took over, hacked the Brockster himself, and said, you know what? I want to play. The AI wanted to really test their feet against LB Gaming. Maybe they will say, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best environment to do that. Maybe I'll back off. But we're going into game number 2 of Season 10 of Articuno League Week 1 with LB Gaming, your orange team, and Beam Team, your purple team. We are going to see Lucario and Gossifleur coming into the top lane here. Very strong lane for Lucario to come into. We are going to be sacrificing that central path for the Charizard. Snorlax going to be going for the invade, but Kazuki says, listen, we know your shenanigans. We saw you last game, and you're not getting away with it this time. Clefairy is here as well. They did nice bush checks to be able to stop them going in, but Lucario gonna nab up all those Natus. Fighting type Pokemon into Psychic Flying, quad resistance, does not care. Types don't matter in this game, only the KOs, damage, and scores. But Obelisk is going to be able to come in and get their 9 points in. That is going to be a huge stack for them. They're going to get pushed towards it. Can they make it to the berry? No, but they did take 1 berry. So we do have some resources out. 850 birds. We do have the gank here from Polaris down here on the Zero Aura into the bot side. We did have the gank up here from the Charizard here on Lazy, but it wasn't able to amount to much. Lucario sitting at a nice, pretty level 5. Eldegoss sitting at a nice level 4 3/4. We are now 25 seconds away from Regidrago. So again, this is an objective that has AoE experience. This has increased score speed for the man who takes it, the Mon that takes it. So you need to start looking at how exactly you're going to run into this. Oh, but we do have a nice engage here. Obelisk and Sinnoh are low HP. The Clefable is going to start healing up. Brockstar, nice engage with the heavy slam going in. Lucario going to start the Regidrago, but is that going to be the mistake? They could have dived in and maybe took the KO on the Scizor, but that's going to come in. They're going to take the objective, but who got it? Charizard takes Polaris down. We do have Lucario and the Snorlax down, but the Beam team is going to take the Regidrago. That means that's experience denied to LB Gaming, score buff denied to LB Gaming, but that Scizor does not care. He's like, listen, I see points. I'm going to take berries. I'm going to take buffs. I'm going to take score and get my stacks. But Jakuri is not having it. They're diving in, takes down the Scizor like they were nothing. One of the tankiest all-rounders in the game, absolutely deleted by Lucario. LB is playing into this bottom bush. The Regis are randomized in this game mode. We don't know which lane the typical basement Regis, so the Regi Trio or Lecky are going to spawn, but we're going to keep it regular old-fashioned Thea Sky Ruins. We're going to have Regi Steel in the bottom lane. LB Gaming going to take it. They now have free pressure into the tier 2 goal pad here, as Beam Team can opt to take the scores into this top lane here with Regilecki. Listen, I don't remember Regilecki being on the roster here for Beam Team. I don't remember them being an official sub. Guys, I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if you can take Regieleki like that. I mean, it's kind of like an illegal sub. And you got 6 members. You got 6 teammates on the field at that point. That's, I don't know. But we can't stop that game, you know. If the game allows it, I guess. I mean, but oh my gosh. We have Clefable with a rare fly from its Unite move. Gravity going to come out, trying to collapse on Jakuri. But Jakuri just got too much of the jukes. Going to be coming in here as Obelisk and Sinnoh hunt them down. Low HP, trying to out. Yes, but they weren't able to get it. Nice close combat to be able to heal up. The Scizor is going to unite, coming out here. Going to take down Jakuri finally, but Pikachu Snorlax going to take down the Scizor. Trevenant going to be getting its Unite move. Finally. I say finally, but it's really great for Trevenant to have its Unite move before the 5-minute mark. That is strong. But guys, look at our score. 161 to 165. Our Tevens are so even right now. Beam Team is in a powerful position to be able to come back. Level 11 Lucario, level 10 Pikachu, level 10 Zeraora. Meanwhile, LB Gaming also strong position. Level 11 Raichu, level 10 Scizor, level 10 Charizard. But, oh, we don't see LB Gaming in the bottom path. So now Beam Team is rotating top. They know exactly where they are. They're like, listen, it's too quiet down here. They're not down here. But look, there's the Trevenant, gives himself away. There's the Charizard. Now they know. Then the Clefable and the Scizor. Now the Raichu. All 5 members of both teams are up here for this engage for whenever it happens. It's coming in slowly. Nice Fire Blast. Nice disengage. We do have range and vision coming out from Kazuki. He's playing too close to that. To that Regieleki. Doesn't have a whole lot of zoning capacity. Snorlax is in there, could do a lot of things. Charizard Unite coming in. Trevenant Unite coming out. We have so many Unite moves coming through. Raichu's going to be able to clean up. Zeraora, Pikachu down. Scizor, Charizard down. Snorlax going to Unite. Get that bulk back up. Nice knockups that are going to come in, but Jakuri is trapped. Not going to get that Unite move off as he gets taken down by the Raichu for a triple KO streak. The Brockstar himself is going to be in trouble as Raichu takes its 4 quadruple KO streak coming in here as LB Gaming now turns on Regieleki. Beam Team now needs to take a position and go for it. Listen, we can't fight this anymore. We just got to stall on pad so they can't break it. So only the Regieleki can go through and break it. We don't want it going to our tier 2. There's just too many points in the pocket of LB Gaming to allow it to go towards tier 2. And so they did an excellent defense job defending that, but they are wide open. But we're going to take huge Regirock grab from Beam Team. Oh my goodness, as they're coming down here, Slasher's getting beat up. Zeraora Unite gonna pop him. Look at all those AS points coming out like a balloon. Oh my gosh. Raichu Pinata and Zeraora was the stick. 241 to 252. Both teams are doing an excellent job of being able to throw score in and being able to put counter pressure on the opposing team to get their score back in place. We are 60 seconds away from Groudon. This pit is going to be very important because now you got to look for back caps. We don't have any tier 1s, and you have to be looking at a position of the fact that neither team, if nobody scores between now and Groudon, when it spawns in, neither team is going to know who is in the lead. But Obelisk is looking to change that. Scizor's going to go in on top of that, going on top of Jakuri. Jakuri's stuck in the side, the gravity. Not going to be able to stop him as he gets out. But nice close combat there. But we got 7 points coming in from the Clefable. Cheeky 7, but is it going to be worth it? Clefable has to split from the group. It's going to go down. 19 seconds left. Zeraora is chasing hard. Going to take the Clefable. That is an 11-second respawn timer. It's going to be spawning in just as Groudon comes in. We are now 5v4 into the pit. We are in control. It is the Clefable that is down. Groudon is here. Neither team knows who's ahead. Back caps are risky. Taking the objective is risky. Both teams are in a sticky situation. But LB Gaming does have the slight lead. Huge engage already, though. Oh, the Scizor taken down immediately. LB Gaming's hopes are going to be dashed a little bit. Unite move. Sidekick with the... Oh, but the Charizard goes down now. Oh, but the Pikachu. LB Gaming strikes back. Take down the Pikachu. Now they're going to be moving towards to try to take down Zero Aura, but it's not enough. Snorlax and Trevenant are going to be duking it out, trying to protect and get onto the Raichu. Raichu is now vulnerable. Can't be hanging out on that pad too quickly, too much. But Beam Team is behind. They're doing an excellent job. They took down two important Pokemon coming in here, but they weren't able to capitalize off of it. Too much damage coming in. Brockstar is going to go down. That's a heavy loss on that Snorlax. Clefairy is going to be the next one on their list as Coach Chris comes in. Pikachu's taken down 25 seconds out. Remember, LB Gaming is in the lead. They're making a great push. They're coming in. The burst coming out. It's not going to be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As Beam Team falls and LB Gaming locks this game in with scores coming down. But it's not over yet. The reverse sweep on the reverse sweep could still happen. 38 points going to come in. They are now in a comfortable lead. A whole 50 stack isn't going to be enough to allow Beam Team to come in. They need a 50 cap and then some more. They need like a 55 cap to come in and win this. Wait. They need like okay. They need like a 60 cap. They need like a 60 cap. They need like 120. No, even that wouldn't do it. I'm bad at math. Don't worry about me. Scizor going for it. This is their chance. Go, push, do something. 8 seconds. No, not enough time to score. Not enough time to get things done. LB Gaming going to be taking game number 2 into the set against Beam Team. Oh my gosh. What a fight. What a set. What a run so far. But it's not over yet. Because remember, folks, this is a best of 5. So LB Gaming may have took game number 2, but that only puts them into match point range. That doesn't secure the win for them. Our teams are going to be eager to get into this next fight, but 241 to 465. That Scizor did really good job being able to counter score, put the pressure on Beam Team, being able to say, nah, that can't happen. That's not going to happen. But look at this damage here, folks. We do have 71k from Coach Chris, 74 from Jakuri, 64 from Polaris, 93 from Slasher, 72 from Obelisk, 46 respectable on the Charizard. We got lots of farm. We made sure to get our levels up and stay ahead. And overall, we were doing really, really good on that Charizard. We had our specific KOs, but you thought Sinnoh couldn't outmatch like, what was that? Like 60 something K, 90 something K last game? Well, they got 105 this match. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. 105k damage onto that Clefable. We do have Kazuki coming in with tanking 67k. Brockstar coming in with 58k. Great job, both teams. Fantastic work from both teams there. But now we are going to come in here. We're going to dox that code a little bit. Hopefully nobody inputs it. I'm going to be booting you from the lobby if you do. So don't you worry. But oh my gosh, chat. Oh my gosh, folks. What a set so far. Just to be able to, again, the control of the Groudon pit was a little bit more up in the air this time. Both teams were very, very good. It just came down to who was able to capitalize. We saw Beam Team just absolutely demolish and take down Charizard and Scizor super early. They were able to come in and just go boop, boop, you're gone. But they weren't able to get to the Raichu. Raichu was still a threat, but they could have turned on Groudon and started ripping. In a 5v3 scenario, well, no, not 5v3, because again, they did lose. Who'd they lose? They were down a member at that time anyways. They were down a member there, so it was really difficult for them to be able to find a way to pivot back into this. So now it comes down to bans. You know both teams are going to be banning Blissey. You know that both teams have banned Suicune. This is 2 games in a row that they've done this. When we are in a first pick position, or when we are in a second pick position, you know, when we're in positions like this, we need to think about what are the odds the other team is going to ban this thing out. Do we want to leave it up to chance, or do we want to leave it open for them? And if the answer is yes, then don't pick it as a ban. But if the answer is no, then even so, you might want to get... But even so, you still want to get, like, into different things. You want to make sure that you get into... You want to start thinking about, okay, if we have Blissey, if we have Suicune, can we... And they banned Suicune and Blissey. Can we come in and come out with different bans? All right, we are going to go into game number 3. So we're going to see exactly how they have decided these bans right now, as game number 3 is about to start. Beam team, still your purple team. LB Gaming with the updated score, by the way. See, we're doing it. We're on top of this stuff. Don't you worry. It's going to be your orange team. We're going to see Blissey Suicune highlighted. We're going to see Talonflame Mewtwo Y also highlighted. Blissey's going to be highlighted for the side of LB Gaming. Leafeon going to be highlighted as well, and Buzzwole. We don't like Buzzwole. We don't like Blissey. We don't like Leafeon. Oh, but we're going to see Blissey banned out. We're going to see Hoopa banned out. We're going to see Serena banned out of all Pokemon against Blissey, Leafeon, and Buzzwole. We got 5 Pokemon this time instead of the standard 4. Polaris is going to be in that first pick slot. Now, one of the defaults of this, one of the issues of being in custom mode is not all the licenses are available. So, one of the things that as a team you have to think about is you have to think about you have to think about your roster pick. Yes, you can switch with players in your team, but if someone doesn't get to a switch fast enough, are you going to be able to stop it? Are you going to be able to pick something that's going to be beneficial to your team? Maybe that's what the Zero Aura pick was last time. Maybe it was somebody didn't have a specific pick or something like that, or only Polaris had Zero Aura. But if that's the case as well, then maybe you don't put Polaris at the top. Maybe you put them closer to the middle or the bottom. You know, but that's something else that teams have to think about when they're coming into a draft like this. It's player positioning because of the limited roster. But we're going to see Suicune locked in with the Talonflame Snorlax. Snorlax can be picked up super early. Again, you don't want to be revealing a whole lot of your damage right away. Suicune could be acting in the support capacity for the side of Beam Team. In this way, you throw in there probably an XP share on it, go from there. Because let me tell you, the utility from Suicune overpowers its damage. Because you don't want a whole lot of damage with Suicune. You're not, because it doesn't output a whole lot of damage. Even if you give it damage items, it doesn't output a whole lot of damage, you know? So putting an XP share on it, making sure you get that is going to be absolutely demonic. And that's probably what we're going to see. Pikachu going to be coming in on Coach Chris Jakuri, going to be locking in that Lucario. So only Clefairy and Polaris pivoting their Pokemon. We're going to see Snorlax, Pikachu, Lucario coming in every game. But Lucario's going to be still playing for the side of the Beam Team. Now we're going to see a lot of familiar faces over here on LB. Look at that. We're seeing that Trevenant. Oh, we're seeing that Clefable. Oh, we're going to see that Charizard. And we're going to see that Raichu. Guys, we're seeing some old faces. This is like the usual Pokemon, but guess who they just brought in for Season 3 of LB Gaming's picks? Darkrai coming in here. Darkrai wasn't in Season 1. They weren't in Season 2, but they are here for Season 3 for LB Gaming's picks. This draft is looking crazy. There's a lot of stun control on the side of LB Gaming. I'm tripping over my words now. Oh my gosh. But LB Gaming has that Darkrai. Darkrai has a lot of stuns that not just stun, but last a long time as well. We do have that Trevenant that's able to input a lot of stuns. We do have Clefable being able to shut down things with gravity. Or Follow Me, whichever you prefer. Follow Me is very disruptive if you're right in the front lines and you're stuck. You don't always want to say, hey man, like listen, I don't want to be up there. I don't want to see that stuff. But we are going to see a very interesting talk because we have very early game from the side of Beam Team, and we have very focused scalers on the side of LB Gaming. But here we go into game number 3 of Articuno League Week 1 between the Beam Team, your purple team, and LB Gaming, your orange team, who is in match point position. We are going to see that Talonflame go take that central lane. And of course, I mean, Are we really going to see anything different? Are we really surprised to see the little red salamander or the little orange salamander here in the middle here? I don't think we are. Are we really surprised seeing the weird cat, the weird fat cat bear monster coming in here going for the invade? I don't think we are. But there we go. Lazy is going to come out. They're going to just delay a little bit of time. A few extra seconds, but that overall won't be impactful. Nice tackle from Snorlax, but they are going to get got. They're going to get collapsed on here. Eject early to try to dodge. Take a berry, Brock. Take a berry. Go back to full heal. Go back to full HP. Come on, my man. Nah, he's just going to rest on pad and be like, I didn't need a berry. Brock putting that Snorlax on a diet, let me tell you. Oh, my gosh. But in the top lane here, we already know where our ganks are going. Lazy's already up here. Polaris is already up here. They're ready to go. Now we see where Polaris is. We see Polaris is actually going dipping bottom. Oh, we didn't see Lazy a lot. Maybe we thought, hey, they're going bottom. But huge engage here. Darkrai is up here. We have Polaris do a reverse 180 coming back to the top side. Huge stuns out from the Darkrai onto Lucario there. No KO is going to be able to be picked up yet. But it's still early. Oh, I don't know how you do that. The Suicune Mystics boosted every which way. Oh, Polaris coming in with a stealth assassination onto that Darkrai. Knocking it out, sending it back to the Pokemon Center. We are now 15 seconds away from Regidrago. Again, this is AoE experience. This is a score buff to the person who takes it. So you want to make sure that whoever takes it can utilize it. Although I think most teams are just interested in securing the objective and getting the experience. But we have nice Snorlax engage coming in with a fat heavy slam. Suicune going to come in with a sit with the KO onto that Phantump there. But the Phantump, oh, that Phantump's back. Lazy is going to get taken down by Jakuri. Coach Chris going toe-to-toe with the Clefable. Huge domination by Beam Team as they come into this Regidrago fight. Snorlax does have the increased score speed there. Was the one to get the final hit. 28 points in its pocket. But with defense on the pad, it's only increased score speed. It's not unstoppable scoring. So Snorlax is going to be in a bit of a tricky situation. Oh, but the nice engage from the Snorlax are going to be able to pick up a bunch of Swablues. We're going to be able to pick up, well, I say a bunch, but it's really only one. I only picked up one Swablu. But nice zoning. We have level 8 on the Raichu. Talonflame going to be up the top here. Charizard, also level 8. Talonflame looking to be the first one on the map with its Unite move, but Raichu said, nuh-uh. Slasher, first one with Unite move on the map as they turn. And we finally get Regieleki in the bottom lane for the first time this set. So that's going to be crucial. Oh my gosh! Snorlax jumping in with a huge heavy slam, stealing the Regieleki, making that 6th roster Pokemon for the side of Beam Team as they now take on Slasher on their home pad with a nice block, being able to push them out, stun them out. But Brock, you're getting too ballsy, man, there. You're getting too much bravery going on you. Yet, taking down huge points going to be coming in from Slasher. That's not just huge points, though. That's also huge experience. Look at how much. That was just leveled up to the next level there. But Trevenant's going to go down. Wasn't going to be enough to take on the Regieleki. Instant scoring as Beam Team collapses. Takes them down and grabs a whole bunch of experience and points with this push. Look at that. Nice! Secure from the Talonflame to take on the Raichu as we dump more points in. 24 from it by counter 26 from the Darkrai. 30 from Clefable here. So that is going to be a rough one indeed. We're sitting at 160 to 121. Points are very close. Both teams very much in this still. We are approaching 5.5 minutes now. Actually, we're past 5.5 minutes. We're not approaching. We passed it. It's gone. It's history. What are you talking about? Hide. It's not just map awareness you need help with. It's time awareness. But now as we are approaching the 5-minute mark, we're halfway through this game. Objectives are going to be spawning here in 25 seconds in both lanes. Remember, Regieleki into the bot side, and either a Lecky, or was it a steel, an ice, a steel, or a rock into the top side. Talonflame in a sticky situation here as it is going to get got Oh, but it does get out. Trevenant, very low HP, moves inside of the Raichu Unite just as it ends, though. Snorlax going to be able to kidnap Charizard and Trevenant. Trevenant finally going down here. Kazuki not going to be able to stay up as the Talonflame dives in. Polaris being a monster with the bravery. Coming in here, taking down the Charizard. B-Team now going to be rotating in and being able to zone out for this Regieleki. We are Brave Bird, not Fly, so we have to time. Pardon the yawn. We have to time things out, but Pikachu goes down. Suicune goes down. Raichu comes in as they now rotate through. We don't have a secure option. Talonflame Polaris going to go down with an early Brave Bird. Not going to be able to lock it out. And as we get taken down, 1, 2, 3 for the side of Beam Team. As now LB Gaming transforms and turns onto the Regidrago, while we have Obelisk up here trying to take the Registeel in time before he gets taken by the Registeel. Yo, Tish, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Party of 9 from Tish's stream. Welcome on in. Take a look. We are Articuno League, week number 1 as we come in here. But not only that, but we have the Beam Team, which is your purple team. We have LB Gaming, your orange team. Match point for LB Gaming as they come in here to this best of 5 set. Huge 24 cap, huge 50 cap coming in here, pushing LB Gaming into the lead now. As Sinnoh tries to do a cheeky 10 in the face of Suicune. Not going to work, but we do have Regieleki still threatening tier 2. Onto the bot side here. We got to do something to get this off the map. We are approaching Groudon. We're only 54 seconds away from that Groudon. And unlike previous objectives, again, I know we hammer this in, but Groudon is so important. It's not an instant win anymore. It is an objective that even if you lose, you can still fight and defend against. It is an objective that overall is not as overpowering as Zapdos was or Rayquaza was. So we are sitting at 282 points for LB Gaming to 160 for Beam Team. LB Gaming has already demonstrated they have great pick control coming into against Beam Team. But, so they're trying to make it so that they don't need a position for it. Oh, but I love this. I love this so much. We're 5 seconds away. We don't know where they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as they crash into this top lane. Huge points going in, but they're 298 to 346. Trevenant comes in to try to stop this. They didn't get all of their points in. They needed to coordinate this a little bit more. It wasn't going to be enough, but one member down. Charizard goes down. Jakuri is down, and so is... Oh, but so is Coach Chris, and Clefairy is down as well. But Snorlax is not done. He takes down the Darkrai. Charizard was down instantaneously, but that is a full team wipe for the side of LB Gaming against Beam Team. 298 to 346. They are still in this. They're starting this objective. Raichu's hitting it, desperate to wipe it off the map. But this isn't just your typical objective. We do have Lucario, who have secure with the Unite move. Go in and take it. Talonflame is back. That is a great secure Pokemon. Don't just let this Groudon heal back up for free, but that's exactly what's going to happen. They're prioritizing the fight over the objective, but the objective was how I think they were going to be able to win this. They need to do something. Kazuki sitting on very dangerous low HP. A Snorlax, Pikachu, Brave Bird going to take down finally. Oh, but the call 1, 2, and 3 taken down for Beam Team as they now collapse. They are behind on points. LB Gaming knows this. They're collapsing. Talonflame doing everything it can. Jakuri tries to fire up the Unite move. Not going to be enough to stop that. 446 to 298 as they get almost a full team wipe against LB Gaming, but it's not going to be enough as the reverse team wipe comes in. I don't like calling games this early, folks, but 446 to 298. I think LB Gaming is going to take game number 3 as well as their first set if in the Articuno League. Well done, both teams. Oh my goodness. Was this a fight and a half the whole time? Both teams did incredibly well. Good job. Oh my gosh. Fairy, if you know how to do a shout out command, let me know. Because unfortunately, I don't. I'd love to give Tish a huge shout out. But oh my gosh, look at that. Again, that was such an amazing set coming in here. Oh my goodness. Tank on the Brockstar himself, 96k. Pikachu, the utility Pokemon, coming in with 66. Lucario, a pseudo assassin, coming in with 55. Clefairy coming in with 44 on Suicune. Not the intentional damage of what it's supposed to do, but great utility between it and Pikachu being able to lock down LB Gaming. Just wasn't enough. Talonflame, Polaris, 93k damage. Look at that. Slash are going to be able to top that though. 99k. Obelisk, 76. Charizard, once again, 49. Not the designated damage dealer, more on the back, looking for specific targets. Clefairy, Sinnoh, once again, oh my gosh, 92k heals. And Kazuki, tanking 83, healing 43, and dishing out 63k damage. Oh my gosh, look at these players played. They were here, they were ready to go. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, one of the things that Beam Team was just allowing them to do is just get rid of, they allowed them to take the Trevenant. They allowed them to take the Clefable. Every time, first picks, Clefable, Trevenant, done. Get it gone, get it good, it's over with. LB Gaming knew what strategy they were going to do. They brought Raichu every game. They brought Charizard every game. We didn't even think to target ban them. We brought in a Serena ban. We brought in a Hoopa ban. We brought in a Blissey ban. And we had Blissey on both sides, all 3 games. We had Suicune banned on both teams, games 1 and 2. Eventually, you're going to have to make a pivot. So hopefully, both teams are going to be able to look at this VOD, look back on it, and say, listen, this didn't work out so well, but going into next week, as they go into their next opponents, they'll be able to look and see where they fell through on, what worked for them, and what made them able to just dominate and go forward. Because I'll tell you right now, Beam Team didn't get wiped or mopped or anything like that. This wasn't a one-sided fight. This was hard fought, tooth and nail, down to the wire. And that's what we love to see in Articuno League. So, but that is all the time we're going to have for tonight. So, we are going to call it there. But let me get you guys a quick little bit of information, because we do have a little bit of stuff that we're going to do here. So, if you have not joined already, Discord link just dropped into the chat for Articuno League. Click that link, join the server, stay up to date on when the streams are happening for Articuno League. Stay up to date on all current events. Maybe a team's dropped out, we need a pickup team. Maybe your team's available. Put your name forward. You want to join for season 11? Get your name forward. It's first come, first served. It's not just invite only. It's as soon as the big boss man himself comes in and says, hey, listen, we're looking for teams, put your team name in there. Because initially, we were only going to do, I think, 16 teams. And we filled up to like 13 teams within day 1. And then we expanded it to 24, and we filled up so quickly, right up to 24. Like, we had a deadline of like a month or something like that. Teams didn't even let it go that long. Let me tell you that. So slots do fill up quickly. So if that is what it is you're after, come in, stay tuned. If you want to be a viewer, if you want to be a player, and it's a great community all around. A lot of wonderful people in there. Also, stay tuned as well, because tomorrow we do have some more games coming up. So let me see what the games are and what the pairings are up here. So we do have Bushcheck versus Ashen Ones, which is taking place tonight. Started 35 minutes ago. Oh my gosh. I don't have a stream for that, unfortunately, but I believe Plush on Ashen Ones does stream. So if you're able to find them, or if you're following them, go take a look over there. Friday, though, tomorrow night, we have Nightmare versus Direwolves Evolution. That is going to be at 8:30 EST. And then we're going to have BAP versus Erased. Let me get what the actual name of that team is. It's not just BAT. It is Becoming Anonymous Players versus Erased, which is also now going to be covered by, get ready for it, hang on, because let me tell you, it's going to be covered by the boss man himself, Maul, and our casting partner who we bring on every time from time to time, the amazing, wonderful Thoob. So let me tell you guys, that is going to be amazing, but we're not done yet. Juice Daddies and versus the Princesses is going to be taking place on Sunday at 9 EST. We're going to be looking at our own personal schedule, seeing if we can slot that in, but we're going to be looking at For Fun versus Kodiak United. Oh, wait, never mind. We can cover the Sunday one because the Saturday one is also going to be 10:30 p.m. EST. We are covering that for sure of For Fun versus Kodiak United. I thought that said Sunday, but it says Saturday. So we might be able to cover the Princesses versus Juice Daddies. We just got to look at our schedule, but that's happening 9 p.m. EST coming forward. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. Are these 3 games round robin or 6? Okay, so let's give a breakdown of how the Articuno League is actually working. Oh my gosh, we just got so many follows. Slasher, thank you. Kazuki Dude, thank you. Night Evie, thank you. Freak Zed4, thank you. All for the follows. We have now hit the goal of 170. Thank you all so much. That is huge. As we do more of these, that's just going to come in and more. But the way the Articuno League works right now, we have 24 teams all broken up into groupings of 4. So over the course of 3 weeks, this week included, so then two more weeks afterwards, we're going to have our teams play out one match against each team going into this. Then we're going to go into our playoff season. So each team's not going to be able to fight each other team within the round robin setting, but we are going to see teams go at each other at least once within their groupings. So we have 8 groupings of 4. Wait, 8 groupings? No, we have 6 groupings of 4 teams for 24 teams, and they're all going to play each other at least once. So that is going to be absolutely amazing to be able to watch all of that go down, to be able to come through and see that as well. And then we're going to go into our playoffs after that. So this whole process, I think, is going to take about 2-3 months or so, because during the playoff season, we're going to go through still with the scheduling and whatnot and everything, make sure teams are okay with that as we go through each round. And then, but the final event is not going to be it's not going to be a set day yet,